Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well in this crazy ass energies that we are in right now, post the eclipse of March 29th. It's been a lot of planets hanging around in Pisces. That's what's creating all this ups and downs that we are experiencing right now. Anyway, I wanted to personally touch base with all my listeners. I'll be doing some series of voice notes like this going forth so that there is a more personal touch to the podcast. Otherwise, it's just AI based podcast with a packed learning system. You see, there's a lot of depth and breadth of knowledge which is being shared. I'm making it with the help of artificial intelligence and voice notes. Um, the reason being it can pack in more knowledge, although I have to, kind of see each and every draft of what it's cooking up because as much as we like to dream of that artificial intelligence is the new heaven on earth or something like that, it isn't. It needs to be polished a lot. It makes a lot of errors, more errors than we choose to, at least at the moment. So I have reviewed all the drafts, just so you know. It's not like it is blindly published using artificial intelligence and a voiceover. So just pay attention, take notes, and I hope the learning is beneficial to you guys, whoever is listening, whoever is learning from these podcasts. Okay, so this particular voice note is about the Panchanga system. Now, this channel, as you might have realized, is more focused on the self and how the self is embodied in the human personality. And therefore, I'm taking a modern psychological approach also, bridging the Myers-Briggs model and the NLP model and the four temperaments model, all kinds of model, Enneagram model. There are lots of different kinds of bridges that I have tried to build in conjunction with the Vedic astrology. That is bringing it to the zodiac, bringing it to the Nakshatras specifically. Probably this is the only channel which has got the largest number of nakshatra devoted to it, but it is only from the personality aspect point of view because the soul, as much as there are so many people like to talk about soul, the soul is an abstraction. It is embodied only through the human personality. Whenever a soul has to arrive here, it has to arrive in the physical form, in a particular lineage, in a particular family, race, culture, and so on and so forth. So it is better that we use the self as embodied self within the shield or within the womb of personality itself. And that's the study and that's the effort here in this channel. So the interest of the young person who's coming and visiting this channel would be best served by understanding the personality of what drives them subconsciously, what drives them as a person, the innate drives, what you unconsciously are moving towards proactively, reactively, and so on. So I suggest when you are studying this Panchanga series, which is what this voice note is all about, I suggest when you study the personality using these podcasts of this channel, first always begin with Panchanga. Always, always, always. Because the Panchanga is the angular study of sun and moon in your chart. The main two luminaries in the astrology is sun and the moon. So we have the two cycles of the sun and moon, right? The Krishna side, which is going towards the waxing moon, the waning moon, and Shukla side, which is the waxing moon. So it goes between Amavasya and Purnima, the two cycles, 15 days of the moon cycles, ending in full moon and new moon respectively. So study the angles between sun and moon and why this is important. It is almost, well, not almost, it is distinguishing between the soul, that is your sun, and the moon, that is your mind. What is the distance, so to speak, angular distance between your mind and your soul? That is the study of Panchanga. And it starts with the Vara, as you have seen in this playlist. This whole playlist, I'm sticking this video there. The entire playlist of Panchanga, including all the case studies of celebrities to help you understand that better, how it plays out or played out in their lives, is to see which day of the week a person was born, that is the Vara, then the Tithi, Yoga, and Karana, which is the manifestation of the angles between the sun and the moon, and then finally the ascendant Nakshatra. These are the five elements: the Vara, the Tithi, Yoga, Karan, and the Nakshatra. Ascendant Nakshatra is what I am considering for the purposes of these studies. So always study the Panchanga elements first and then move on to the Nakshatra part and the other playlists. Okay. Then move on to the subconscious part. Because the Panchanga elements are, in my opinion, at least what I have seen, the most neglected part of Vedic astrology. And it's probably one of the most important guidelines because the Panchanga element as it is in your chart is for your life. It is not dependent on Mahadashas. It is not dependent on specific time periods in your life. It is throughout your life. Doesn't matter which dasha you're running or what planets are in your chart and how they are positioned. This is the Panchanga importance. So the self as personality first do the Panchanga analysis and then move on to the subconscious and the NLP and the eclectic astrology part of the channel. Okay. Make sure you do that first. Take care. Watch this entire series. I hope you take notes. I hope you learn a lot. And if you are having something which you want me to bring forth with the podcast, just put it in the community tab. Take care. Be safe.
Conscious Astrology, Navigating Tithi Amavasya. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with Tithi, the emotional body, which plays a crucial role in understanding your emotional patterns and personality traits throughout life. Today, we explore Amavasya Tithi. Let us begin. Amavasya Tithi overview. What is Amavasya Tithi? Amavasya is the new moon phase, occurring when the sun and moon align at 0 degrees in the zodiac. This Tithi represents the end of a cycle and the preparation for a new beginning. It is associated with introspection, closure, and the cleansing of emotional and spiritual energy. Amavasya is often seen as a time for rest, reflection, and renewal, a time to clear emotional clutter and set intentions for fresh starts. Personality traits. People born on Amavasya Tithi are introspective, reflective, and private about their emotions. They possess a natural ability to understand life's deeper layers and are highly intuitive and spiritually inclined. However, their tendency toward solitude can lead to feelings of isolation and difficulty opening up to others. They may experience emotional emptiness or self-doubt, but have a unique gift for emotional renewal when they connect with their inner peace. Astrological significance. In a chart, Amavasya Tithi signifies the emotional need for rest, release, and renewal. This Tithi represents the soul's desire to close chapters and prepare for new beginnings. Amavasya-born individuals thrive when they embrace moments of stillness and view solitude as a path to healing rather than withdrawal. Consciousness principles for navigating Amavasya. 1. Consciousness finds strength in silence and reflection. Consciousness values quiet moments of introspection as a means of self-discovery and healing. Application. Amavasya-born individuals often withdraw during emotional challenges. Consciousness invites them to use this withdrawal as a tool for clarity rather than avoidance. Practice silent meditations or journaling to process thoughts and emotions. Reflect on past experiences as valuable lessons rather than as failures. Use affirmations such as, "In stillness I find clarity and renewal," to remind themselves of the strength found in introspection. 2. Consciousness seeks purification and release. Consciousness thrives when emotional and mental clutter is released, creating space for new experiences. Application. Amavasya-born individuals may hold on to regrets or fears, resisting change. Consciousness encourages them to see release as an act of self-love and growth. Engage in cleansing rituals, such as lighting candles or taking saltwater baths, to symbolize emotional renewal. Write down worries and let them go through symbolic acts, e.g., tearing or burning the paper. Focus on gratitude for closure and the opportunity for a fresh start. 3. Consciousness balances solitude with connection. Consciousness finds harmony by balancing the inner world of reflection with meaningful external connections. Application. Amavasya-born individuals may become so immersed in solitude that they struggle to reconnect with others. Consciousness reminds them that sharing vulnerability strengthens bonds. Practice reaching out to trusted friends or loved ones to share thoughts and feelings. Schedule mindful connection time to foster relationships without feeling overwhelmed. Use affirmations such as, I can honor my need for solitude while welcoming connection. 4. Consciousness expands through trust and surrender. Consciousness grows stronger when it surrenders to the flow of life, trusting that endings lead to new beginnings. Application. Amavasya-born individuals may resist transitions, fearing uncertainty. Consciousness invites them to trust life's natural cycles of closure and renewal. Practice breathing exercises during moments of uncertainty to calm the mind and accept the present. Visualize life as a flowing river, carrying them toward growth and new opportunities. Repeat mantras such as, I release what no longer serves me and welcome what lies ahead. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Amavasya challenges. 1. Daily reflection ritual. Dedicate 10 minutes daily to reflect on emotions and thoughts without judgment. 2. Release journaling. Write down emotional burdens and practice symbolic releases, such as water rituals or lighting candles. 3. Purposeful solitude. Use quiet moments to set clear intentions for renewal rather than withdrawing into isolation. 4. Gratitude for new beginnings. Reflect on how endings have led to new opportunities and growth, fostering a mindset of renewal. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Amavasya-born individuals can transform their introspective nature into a powerful tool for renewal, healing, and growth. This allows them to embrace solitude as a source of strength while fostering emotional balance and preparing for new, meaningful beginnings in life. Conscious Astrology, Navigating Tithi, Chaturdashi. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with Tithi, the emotional body, which plays a crucial role in understanding your emotional patterns and personality traits throughout life. Today, we explore Chaturdashi Tithi. Let us begin. Chaturdashi Tithi Overview. What is Chaturdashi Tithi? Chaturdashi is the 14th Tithi lunar phase of the waxing Shukla Paksha or waning Krishna Paksha moon. It occurs when the moon is 168 degrees ahead of the sun in the zodiac. This Tithi represents intensity, sacrifice, and transformation. Chaturdashi is often linked to deep emotional experiences, the resolution of conflicts, and the culmination of efforts before a major transition or completion. Personality traits. People born on Chaturdashi Tithi are driven, determined, and resilient. They are often drawn to positions of leadership and protection, such as law enforcement, military service, or roles where they can make impactful decisions. Their unwavering focus on fulfilling their mission can make them seem intense or intimidating to others. However, their strong will can lead to feelings of isolation and emotional burnout. Chaturdashi-born individuals may also struggle with letting go of grudges and balancing their intense drive with emotional peace. Astrological significance. In a chart, Chaturdashi Tithi signifies the emotional need for resolution and release. This Tithi represents the soul's desire to transform and transcend limitations through courage and self-mastery. Chaturdashi-born individuals thrive when they learn to temper their intensity with self-compassion and forgiveness, finding peace amid their pursuit of purpose. Consciousness principles for navigating Chaturdashi. 1. Consciousness transforms through acceptance, not resistance. Consciousness thrives when challenges are accepted and integrated as part of the growth process rather than resisted. Application. Chaturdashi individuals often feel compelled to fight for justice or pursue their goals at all costs. Consciousness invites them to view challenges as lessons rather than battles. Practice mindful observation of challenges without immediately reacting. Reflect on setbacks as opportunities to cultivate patience and resilience. Use affirmations such as, I grow stronger through acceptance, not resistance, to foster calm and focus. 2. Consciousness seeks power through surrender, not control. Consciousness finds true strength in surrendering to life's flow, trusting that not everything needs to be controlled to achieve meaningful outcomes. Application. Chatterdashi-born individuals may feel the need to maintain control to ensure success or protect those they love. Consciousness invites them to surrender their need for control, recognizing that trust and faith can also lead to powerful outcomes. Practice letting go rituals, such as visualizing the release of control over situations that cannot be changed. Use mindfulness practices to center the mind during moments of emotional tension. Reframe situations with the mantra, I trust the process and allow life to unfold. 3. Consciousness expands through forgiveness and release. Consciousness integrates both triumphs and pains by releasing emotional burdens and practicing forgiveness. Application. Chatterdashi individuals may hold on to past grievances or adopt a winner-takes-all mindset. Consciousness reminds them that forgiveness and release are acts of strength, not weakness. Write down grievances or past conflicts and engage in a symbolic release, such as burning the paper, to signify emotional closure. Practice compassionate communication with others to foster reconciliation and reduce misunderstandings. Reflect on the benefits of forgiveness as a way to reclaim emotional freedom. 4. Consciousness balances determination with compassion. Consciousness values ambition and determination, but recognizes that compassion fosters lasting impact and harmony. Application. Chatterdashi-born individuals may become so focused on their goals that they overlook their own emotional needs and those of others. Consciousness invites them to balance their determination with kindness and self-care. Schedule regular check-ins with themselves to identify and address emotional fatigue. Engage in small acts of kindness toward others to cultivate emotional connection and balance. Use affirmations such as, I lead with both strength and compassion to reinforce balanced leadership. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Chatterdashi challenges. 1. Letting go meditation. Visualize letting go of emotional burdens during a meditation session to cultivate peace and release. 2. Forgiveness journaling. Write about unresolved conflicts and reflect on how forgiveness could foster closure and healing. 3. Breathing for calm. Practice deep breathing exercises during moments of heightened intensity to calm the mind and release tension. 4. Compassion ritual. Dedicate time each day to an act of self-compassion, such as taking a relaxing walk or practicing affirmations of kindness. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Chatterdashi-born individuals can transform their intensity and resilience into a balanced approach that embraces peace, forgiveness, and meaningful growth. This allows them to pursue their goals with grace while fostering emotional harmony and lasting connections. Conscious Astrology, Navigating Tithi. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with Tithi, the emotional body, which plays a crucial role in understanding your emotional patterns and personality traits throughout life. Today, we explore Dwadashi Tithi. Let us begin. Dwadashi Tithi Overview. What is Dwadashi Tithi? Dwadashi is the 12th Tithi lunar phase of the waxing Shukla Paksha or waning Krishna Paksha moon. It occurs when the moon is 144 degrees ahead of the sun in the zodiac. This Tithi is associated with purification, devotion, and karmic balance. It represents a phase of release, where individuals must embrace humility, forgiveness, and acceptance of life's flow. Personality traits. People born on Dwadashi Tithi often feel as though their life events are influenced by external circumstances beyond their control. They may experience karmic patterns tied to past actions or ancestral legacies, making them feel burdened by responsibility or fate. However, they are resilient and capable of rising above setbacks through acceptance and spiritual surrender. Dwadashi-born individuals possess a quiet strength and an innate ability to forgive, but they must guard against feelings of helplessness and resignation. Astrological significance. In a chart, Dwadashi Tithi signifies the emotional need to release attachment and surrender to the greater flow of life. This Tithi emphasizes the importance of learning from life's uncontrollable events rather than resisting them. Dwadashi-born individuals thrive when they adopt a mindset of spiritual alignment, understanding that their challenges are often karmic lessons designed for growth and liberation. Consciousness principles for navigating Dwadashi. 1. Consciousness seeks release and letting go. Consciousness does not cling to events, emotions, or outcomes. It finds freedom in releasing control and embracing the unfolding journey. Application. Dwadashi individuals often feel weighed down by circumstances they cannot control, leading to frustration or resignation. Consciousness invites them to practice letting go as an act of empowerment rather than defeat. Practice mindful detachment by observing events without judgment or resistance. Engage in release rituals, such as writing down worries and symbolically discarding them, e.g., tearing or burning the paper. Use affirmations such as, I release what I cannot control and trust the flow of life. 2. Consciousness thrives in forgiveness and compassion. Consciousness naturally gravitates toward healing and compassion, viewing forgiveness as a tool for emotional liberation. Application. Dwadashi-born individuals often carry emotional burdens related to ancestral or personal karma. Consciousness encourages them to practice self-compassion and forgiveness as a way to free themselves from these burdens. Reflect on past grievances and write letters of forgiveness, even if they are not sent, to process and release emotional pain. Practice daily acts of self-compassion, such as gentle affirmations or soothing activities. Reframe forgiveness as a gift of freedom to oneself rather than condoning harmful behavior. 3. Consciousness expands through acceptance, not resistance. Consciousness embraces life's unfolding without resistance, finding growth in acceptance rather than control. Application. Dwadashi individuals may resist their circumstances, feeling trapped by fate or responsibilities. Consciousness invites them to view acceptance as a path to peace and resilience. Practice radical acceptance by acknowledging emotions without trying to fix them immediately. Reframe challenges as lessons designed to foster spiritual growth and emotional maturity. Use meditation to focus on the breath as a reminder of life's natural flow and impermanence. 4. Consciousness finds strength in surrender. Consciousness views surrender as an act of trust and strength rather than weakness. It understands that surrendering to life's flow opens the door to new possibilities. Application. Dwadashi-born individuals may struggle to distinguish between surrender and giving up. Consciousness encourages them to see surrender as an act of faith that allows for new beginnings. Engage in spiritual practices such as prayer, chanting, or meditation to foster a sense of trust in the universe. Visualize surrender as stepping into a peaceful river that carries them toward their highest good. Practice saying, I allow, when faced with uncertainty, reinforcing trust in life's unfolding. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Dwadashi challenges. 1. Daily gratitude ritual. List 3 things to be grateful for, reinforcing a mindset of abundance rather than lack. 2. Forgiveness journaling. Write reflections on moments of forgiveness, focusing on how they brought inner peace and freedom. 3. Release meditation. Practice guided meditations focused on releasing negative energy and embracing calm. 4. Acceptance practice. When faced with challenges, recite mantras such as, I accept what is, and grow with grace, to cultivate inner peace. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Dwadashi-born individuals can transform feelings of helplessness into empowered surrender and find joy in life's unfolding. This allows them to release burdens from the past, embrace karmic lessons, and cultivate a peaceful and resilient spirit that thrives in acceptance and self-compassion. Conscious Astrology Navigating Tithi, Ekadashi. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with Tithi, the emotional body, which plays a crucial role in understanding your emotional patterns and personality traits throughout life. Today we explore Ekadashi Tithi. Let us begin. Ekadashi Tithi Overview. What is Ekadashi Tithi? Ekadashi is the 11th Tithi, lunar phase, of the waxing, Shukla Paksha, or waning, Krishna Paksha, moon. It occurs when the moon is 132 degrees ahead of the sun in the zodiac. This Tithi represents introspection, spirituality, and a connection to higher consciousness. Ekadashi is associated with fasting, purification, and inner clarity, emphasizing the importance of rest, detachment, and introspection for renewal and healing. Personality traits. People born on Ekadashi Tithi are introspective, restful, and intuitive. They are naturally attuned to their subconscious mind and often possess a deep understanding of their emotional world. Ekadashi-born individuals tend to seek peace and avoid chaotic environments, favoring simplicity and solitude to recharge their energy. However, their introspective nature can lead to overthinking, emotional withdrawal, and indecision. They may struggle with balancing rest and action, often preferring to retreat rather than confront external challenges head-on. Astrological significance. In a chart, Ekadashi Tithi represents the emotional need for rest, reflection, and spiritual nourishment. This Tithi highlights the importance of embracing solitude without isolating oneself and the need to balance introspection with proactive engagement. Ekadashi-born individuals thrive when they create harmonious spaces for rest and creativity, but must be mindful not to let self-reflection turn into escapism. Consciousness principles for navigating Ekadashi. 1. Consciousness seeks renewal through stillness. Consciousness values periods of stillness and rest as essential components of growth and healing. It finds clarity in moments of silence and solitude. Application. Ekadashi individuals are naturally drawn to introspection and rest, but may become too withdrawn or hesitant to engage with the outside world. Consciousness encourages them to embrace rest as a preparatory phase for inspired action. Practice active rest by incorporating meditative activities such as mindful walking or creative journaling. Schedule regular moments of silence to cultivate mental clarity and emotional renewal. Use affirmations such as, "Rest prepares me for meaningful action," to reframe rest as a strength rather than avoidance. 2. Consciousness thrives on spiritual simplicity. Consciousness seeks to simplify, releasing unnecessary distractions to focus on what truly matters. Application. Ekadashi-born individuals often seek peace through simplicity, but may become overly attached to minimalist routines, fearing complexity or change. Consciousness invites them to embrace simplicity as a way to create space for purposeful action rather than avoidance. Identify and release unnecessary emotional burdens by reflecting on what no longer serves personal growth. Practice gratitude for simple moments that bring peace, such as a quiet sunrise or a mindful breath. Maintain a daily essentials practice, focusing only on meaningful tasks that nourish the mind and soul. 3. Consciousness embraces flow over control. Consciousness flows with life rather than seeking to control every aspect of it. It trusts the process of unfolding rather than rushing outcomes. Application. Ekadashi individuals may feel overwhelmed by decisions, leading to overthinking and emotional stagnation. Consciousness invites them to trust their intuition and release the need to perfect every choice. Engage in decision-making sprints by setting small time frames to make simple choices without overanalyzing. Use intuition-based exercises, such as selecting activities based on what feels most aligned at the moment. Reflect on times when trusting instincts led to positive outcomes to build confidence in flow-based living. Consciousness expands through inner alignment and outer engagement. Consciousness thrives when inner calm aligns with purposeful action in the external world. Application. Ekadashi-born individuals may become comfortable in states of introspection, leading to avoidance of external responsibilities. Consciousness encourages them to use periods of rest as fuel for meaningful contribution. Set small, actionable goals to balance introspection with external engagement. Plan restorative activities, such as spending time in nature or practicing yoga, followed by proactive steps in their goals. Reframe external tasks as opportunities to express inner peace and creativity rather than burdens. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Ekadashi challenges. 1. Quiet reflection ritual. Dedicate 10 minutes each morning to mindful breathing and observing thoughts without judgment. 2. Simplicity journal. Write down one emotional or physical clutter to release each week, creating space for peace and focus. 3. Intuitive action practice. Choose one daily task based on intuition rather than strict planning, reinforcing trust and flow. 4. Balance check-ins. At the end of the day, reflect on whether rest and engagement felt balanced, adjusting routines accordingly. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Ekadashi-born individuals can harness their introspective strengths and cultivate a balanced life of rest, renewal, and inspired action. This allows them to navigate both their inner world and external responsibilities with grace and clarity, fostering harmony between stillness and purposeful living. Conscious Astrology, Navigating Tithi, Trayodashi. Hi, welcome to Consciousness Podcasts. In this season, we analyze the Hindu Vedic calendar system of Panchanga with respect to consciousness principles. We continue with Tithi, the emotional body, which plays a crucial role in understanding your emotional patterns and personality traits throughout life. Today, we explore Trayodashi Tithi. Let us begin. Trayodashi Tithi Overview. What is Trayodashi Tithi? Trayodashi is the 13th Tithi lunar phase of the waxing Shukla Paksha or waning Krishna Paksha moon. It occurs when the moon is 156 degrees ahead of the sun in the zodiac. This Tithi represents detachment, release, and transformation. It is often associated with spiritual liberation, moksha, and a deep yearning to be free from attachments and worldly desires. Personality traits. People born on Trayodashi Tithi are often introspective, independent, and focused on achieving freedom, both material and spiritual. They may feel drawn to careers or paths where they can serve others while seeking deeper meaning in life. However, this focus on detachment may lead to sudden changes in life circumstances, such as abrupt shifts in careers or relationships. They tend to embrace impermanence, but their constant search for liberation may make them appear aloof or distant. Their challenge lies in balancing worldly responsibilities with their spiritual pursuits. Astrological significance. In a chart, Trayodashi Tithi represents the emotional need to let go of attachments and move toward higher self-awareness. This Tithi signifies the soul's desire for independence and release from the cycles of repetition. Trayodashi-born individuals thrive when they learn how to integrate their detachment with meaningful relationships and responsibilities. Consciousness principles for navigating Trayodashi. Consciousness seeks freedom through detachment, not escape. Consciousness embraces freedom not by running away, but by releasing unnecessary emotional burdens and living fully in the present. Application. Trayodashi-born individuals often feel the urge to walk away from commitments when they feel restricted or overwhelmed. Consciousness invites them to practice healthy detachment without disconnecting from important aspects of life. Practice mindful detachment by observing thoughts and emotions without identifying with them. Create mental check-ins before making sudden decisions to ensure choices come from clarity rather than impulse. Use affirmations such as, "I am free within my commitments," to reinforce emotional balance. 2. Consciousness finds purpose in impermanence. Consciousness accepts that all experiences, relationships, and achievements are impermanent, finding joy in the unfolding journey rather than in fixed outcomes. Application. Trayodashi individuals may fear losing control or feel pressured to avoid deep emotional bonds. Consciousness encourages them to find peace in the temporary nature of life's experiences rather than resisting change. Reflect on moments of change that led to personal growth and gratitude. Practice daily gratitude for small, fleeting moments of beauty, such as sunsets or conversations. Reframe transitions as opportunities for rebirth rather than endings. Consciousness seeks integration, not isolation. Consciousness thrives when it integrates spiritual insight with daily life rather than retreating into isolation. Application. Trayodashi-born individuals may prefer solitude and introspection to engaging in external obligations. Consciousness invites them to balance their need for solitude with meaningful participation in relationships and responsibilities. Schedule intentional alone time while maintaining regular connections with family and friends. Practice acts of kindness or service to integrate spiritual growth into daily interactions. Reflect on how personal peace can be shared through small gestures of care and presence. 4. Consciousness expands through surrender, not resistance. Consciousness grows stronger when it surrenders to the flow of life, allowing space for transformation and acceptance. Application. Trayodashi individuals may resist situations they cannot control, which can lead to frustration and avoidance. Consciousness encourages them to surrender and trust the natural unfolding of events. Engage in meditative breathing exercises to release resistance and foster calm. Visualize releasing control as letting go of a heavy burden, allowing space for new experiences. Practice mantras such as I surrender to life's flow and trust the process to cultivate acceptance and grace. Suggested consciousness actions to overcome Trayodashi challenges. 1. Detachment reflection. Reflect on attachments, material or emotional, and journal ways to release them with love and acceptance. 2. Integration ritual. Balance introspection with daily acts of connection, such as calling a friend or offering support to someone in need. 3. Surrender meditation. Practice guided meditations focused on releasing control and embracing uncertainty. 4. Gratitude for change practice. At the end of the day, reflect on one change that brought unexpected lessons or growth. By aligning with these consciousness-aligned actions, Trayodashi-born individuals can transform their yearning for freedom into empowered detachment and meaningful connection. This allows them to embrace life's impermanence while fostering inner peace, balancing their spiritual aspirations with harmonious relationships and purposeful living.